Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, Episode 8. I am one of your hosts, Dantes, and joining me, like always, the man, the legend, and the Splatoon expert in the world, Calones. How you doing, Calones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And yeah, today's I guess a special one because we finally have Splatoon 2. It's well, this is my Squiddy over here. That's actually not my Squiddy. It's my daughter's Squiddy, but I stole it for the segment over here.
It's your sidekick, right? Did you go and sleep with him at night? I mean, does he make you feel comfortable? Are you scared at night? Do you need some help, my friend? I'm just asking.
It's one of those where you go like.
Oh yeah, when you got a lot of stress, that's your stress ball. Yeah, do you take that at work?
Yeah, because if I were to do this to my other boss, it would hurt a lot. So I'm just using it on this one.
Don't say that, just in case your boss watches this.
Well, yes.
So Calione, I guess a wild guess. What have you been playing?
Me? Well, actually, I haven't been able to play it yet because, as you know, my daughter has the Toys R Us Club YouTube channel, and we did a recording for it. So she did the unboxing and everything, and after they finally opened it, she's been playing multiplayer and just leveling up and buying clothes and gears and everything. So I still haven't been able to touch it, but as soon as they fall asleep, I will be jumping on it.
So I guess what we'll do, because I know last week we said that we were going to do a review in this podcast, so we'll let you play it this week, and then we'll let the review next week, if that's okay, Calones.
Well, I mean, I can go ahead and give you the initial impressions on the game based on, I mean, like, you know, what we've seen and everything, but the game, I mean, aesthetics, it's what you would expect from a Splatoon game. Same, character designs, world design, and everything. Visiting the same place in Copolis, even though it has changed, but the game looks beautiful. As you know, Nintendo, as they always do, they bring the best out of the hardware. This is one of the best games, best looking games on the Nintendo Switch. And I mean, not only from the game itself, but also everything else that comes attached to it. So I'll get started right here. So even though yesterday was the release of Splatoon 2, which the game's right here, I do love that they also have the graphics on the inside. So it does have an interchangeable cover, and so you have the Salmon Run, and you have the poster from the direct and the spotlight as well. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the story itself. All I know is that Marie is yes, the game does have a story. It's not like Overwatch, which is just multiplayer. It actually does have a single player portion as well. For those that haven't played it before, and even those that did play it, because it teaches you, it forces you to use different weapons, so you learn those weapons. And if you weren't good at those before, just by going through the single player portion of the game and being forced to use weapons for different things, you're gonna learn them, and you're probably gonna have a new favorite afterwards. But all we know is that as far as the story, the Squid Sisters are no more. Now we have Off the Hook with Pearl and Marina, and the only person that we know from the Squid Sisters is Marie, which she's kind of like the one that enlists you to go into the single player portion of the game, and we're trying to figure out what happened with Callie. So that's what we know so far. I haven't played, like I said, I haven't played the game yet, so that's going to be something that we're going to be talking about when it comes to the review of the game, and try to do it as spoiler free as we can. But the game, aside from the multiplayer, it promises a pretty good amount of hours from the single player portion, but specific details, we'll talk about those later.
So sorry about that. So I know you said that the game looks beautiful.
Yes.
So is it running at 60 frames per second?
Yes. When it comes to what it seems like is whenever you're at the plaza or in Copolis, it runs at 30 frames per second. But It's the I mean, I'm not sure if it's using AA or not, anti-aliasing, but it looks really good. It's shiny, character details. I mean, are very detailed, so you can see the clothes, you can see the different things, not only from people that you already played online with, but the other characters that already inhabit that world. But when you play the multiplayer portion of the game, it is 60 frames per second. I didn't play it personally. I was watching my kids play it, and at least to the naked eye, you cannot see a single drop on the game. Online has been good, no disconnecting on the matches or anything like that. But yes, so far when it comes to it, really good experience.
So the reason I wanted to bring that up is because a lot of console gamers keep saying that frames does not matter, and I always believe that I always will pick frames over resolution, right? So if you give me the choice of 4K 30 or 1080 60, I will pick 1080 60 all the time. Even I would go as far as to pick 720 and 60. That's how I feel frames is more important for me as a gamer. Now, of course, I see this because I also have a powerful PC. So, but I understand some console gamers don't feel like it's important. But I did play The Last of Us 2. Give you an example in the PS4, and it was 60 frames. I thought it was a way better experience than the PlayStation 3. Just to give you a heads up. But anyway, thank you, Calones, for that early impression. I know that you haven't played, but you did watch your kids play. So
but I'm actually not done.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, not only aside from the game, you actually have the amiibo figures. So there's a new collection of 3 figures for Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and the Squid. So there, I mean, if you got the Gamers Club, you can get additional discounts. Same with Amazon Prime, but they should be at the stores. I'm not sure about the stock, so if they're available, if you're gonna have a hard time finding them. But as far as the figures go, just try to get your hands on them. They'll give you additional clothes or additional gear within the game. I'm not necessarily sure if it gives you additional levels like the other figures did for the Wii U portion of the game, but we'll try to see how those go. Also, we have the Splattershot Mini. So we're gonna be playing around in the patio, just inking ourselves with the minigun as well as the Splattershot.
That sounds like a lot of fun right there.
We're gonna be running around, splatting each other. Of course, you see 3 of them, and I'm probably gonna use the smallest one. But
of course, you're used to using the smallest one, right, Calones? I'm just saying.
Okay, it's for the kids. It's for the kids.
Okay, that's fine, dude. Hey, have fun with the kids. It's always good. That means that you're a good dad, my friend. Well, that's a great segue since we keep talking about toys, right? For me, I'm not going to talk about the games I've been playing because I've been playing Zelda Breath of the Wild Master Mode, like you guys know. I spoke about it in last week's episode, so if you want to go back, check it out right here on the Force In Unison gaming channel. You can get my impressions of the Trial of the Sword. So instead of me talking about games I play, I just wanted to show a little amiibo here that is the Cloud amiibo. Of course, as Calones know, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. One of the best games I have ever played. Admittedly, other RPGs have taken the crown over the years, but still, Cloud as an amiibo right next to my Shulk. Oh yeah, motherfucker. So I'm still deciding if I'm gonna open it or not. I'm not like a huge collector's guy. I got some amiibos, but it's not like I'm dying to collect every figure like Calones over there. But I do collect the ones that I really like or the properties that I really enjoy, and so I think Cloud looks great. It's the old school Cloud. The sword looks really good. The attention to detail in the amiibo looks really good. So I am really happy with this amiibo, and I'm tempted to open it. But I'm gonna leave it right here in the box for now. I'll decide if I find another one, then maybe I'll do like Shulk, that I have one closed and one open. But we'll see.
Yeah, what I do with those is the ones that I don't really want to open, but I really want to open, I just leave it low enough so one of my kids would accidentally grab it and open it for me. So that way I won't feel bad about it. But another thing, it's with Cloud, Bayonetta, and Corrin. That's the last run for the Smash Brothers
Smash,
amiibo.
yes,
So
that's true.
so they're all done. Nintendo's completely done with that series. So we'll try to see if eventually when Smash Brothers for Switch is announced, if there's going to be new
New ones,
characters
yep.
and if they're going to have a new amiibo line for those. But yeah, like that, this is it for Smash Brothers. So I mean, we still have the Metroid amiibo coming out. Same with the new Samus and Metroid double pack. So we're still gonna have others, but as far as Smash Brothers, it is done, done.
Yep. No, thank you for that, Calones. Let's do a rigmarole, shall we? We had a nice conversation there. We're starting up the show. We're hyped because there's a lot of good news to discuss. So let's do our small rigmarole right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Again, I want to welcome everybody to Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast Episode 8. Yeah, we've been here doing this shit for 8 episodes. I am pumped. Remember, this podcast will be uploaded to YouTube every Monday. And I'm clarifying. Last week I said Tuesday. No. Calones and I talked. Monday seems better for us. We want to get you guys, as soon as we record this, put it out there so we're not missing any news or any big news. So every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the Force In Unison Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast will be uploaded right here on our channel, of course. But also, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy motherfuckers happy, of course. Also remember that if you don't want to watch our ugly faces, you can easily download this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, coming really, really soon. I know I keep saying it, but tomorrow I'm going to focus on setting up our iTunes accounts. So next week you will be downloading this podcast from iTunes. Everything will be explained in the description box. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to Chigero'sNews.com and give some love to my boy Calones. With all that said, let's start with our first segment of the show. Calones, is your body ready? I said, is your body ready? For the no one in attendance and the 2 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's News Center. My body's ready, baby.
Well, and with Reggie's News Center, we have a couple of news on here. A couple of positive news, negative news. It all depends how where you're taking it. Oh, some of them, the negative one is they're kind of like fun because I wasn't there, but I would have liked to experience it. But with the first news segment is the Niantic CEO was booed on stage at Pokemon Go Fest because the app was unplayable. So you have this. First off, what was the fest held at?
Chicago, Illinois, my friend.
Why the hell do you hold one of those segments at Chicago? Isn't it one of the most dangerous cities in the entire world?
Well, hey, people die for those Pokemon, so hey, imagine you're playing the game and you're trying to catch a legendary Pokemon because they just released the legendary Pokemons, to my understanding. But instead of catching it, you get shot on the side and you're running for your life, but you're also trying to catch that motherfucker. So I'm just saying, the adrenaline is gonna be hitting hard, Calones. So I mean, sounds like fun. And the funny part about this game, you only get one life. If you die, it's over. So anyway, it's just.
Yeah, but they had because the game was unplayable. They had the crowd like chanting, "We can't play." They were throwing bottles, water bottles at the presenters. So it was a hectic atmosphere. It was kind of like, I mean, it wasn't Pokemon. Like Woodstock or something like that. So, but yeah, afterwards, it did die down. They were able to like fix certain things, and for the people on there, how they quickly come out saying that like us Americans, sadly, we're all about we're gonna sue you. What you're gonna do for me, so you can make me happy, and they did give like $100 worth of Pokecoins and rare Pokemons and things like that, so they could appease their people on there. But people, I know that now it's getting closer to reality because you're actually having to walk, and it makes you angry to having to leave your living room and go outside to get the Pokemons. But it's still not for you to get rowdy and angry about it just because you're outside. Okay?
I do want to say, at least to Niantic's credit, they did offer some refunds to people who came to the center to the Pokemon Go Fest. The only problem is I'm guessing some people, because they're crazy fans out there,
Yes.
flew from different country, different state for this show, right, Calones? And then, you know what I'm saying? That is like, and the servers are not working because everybody's trying to cash the legendary Pokemon. So, also Niantic said that they're going to give you a free legendary Pokemon for the people who were in attendance. So at least, you know, instead of trying to cash it, you get it for free. So I don't think people should be booing. I mean, I think people should be, hey, fuck it, what the hell. Admittedly, they shouldn't be this pissed for a fucking Pokemon game. I play it for a month. I'm done with it. I don't know why. Whatever. It's fun while it lasted. That's my point. I think it's move on, people. There's other games out there.
Yeah. Well, I'll play the Pokemon game again on and off, but if you put it on the Switch, that's where I'm gonna spend hours and hours on it. So just hurry up and put it on the Switch. But moving on, Axiom Verge is coming to the Wii U and Nintendo Switch, but U.S. retailers do not want to stock the Wii U version. They only want to stock the Switch. So, is it good? Is it bad? How do you feel about it?
I honestly, I guess I understand. It's not fair. It's not fair for the developer of Action Verge who spent time in you know, making the Wii U version of it. They want to make profit, right? So it's not fair. The problem is that the Wii U is dead. Like it or not, the Wii U is dead. So no one wants to stock it, right? You have a certain amount of shelf space in the store. So, you know, stores are just going to pick what's hot. And what's hot is the Nintendo Switch. Pure and simple. So I guess I understand both sides. It still sucks. Well, maybe Action Verge, the developers can set up like a online account or, you know, an online store where they could sell the physical copy of the Wii U version, and that could, you know, help them a little bit. But I do feel bad for the Action Verge developers because I heard it's a great Metroid style of game, right? So if you're looking for that Metroid itch while you wait for Samus returns, this could be a good game for you to play in the meantime. So.
Yeah, I want to congratulate the Action Verge developers because they could have taken the easy way out, like some other developers have done, which is, you know, cancel the Wii U version of the game and just release the Nintendo Switch. So they've you know, promised those things. They're going to be delivering on it. So I mean, great on them. Retailers, I can understand, like a game like that is still going to sell. They don't really have to order, you know, too many copies that they're going to be holding in store. And I know they're ready to get rid of their, you know, Wii U stock when it comes to the stores. But you know, just and they're going to find alternatives. They're going to have other options. They're still going to make the physical copy so people can get it on the Wii U if they want to. But I'm glad that they're sticking to it and they're delivering for the fans.
Yeah, good point.
So, well, next up.
Next one. Woo! I always like to talk about sales. Let's do it, Calones.
Okay, so I'm going to put it this way. The NPD sales are actually, it feels like a throwback. Like we're in the 1990s where fighting games dominated the scene. It's like for the first time in I don't know how long, fighting games are at the top. So 3 out of the top 5 games are fighting games. So you have Tekken 7, you have Injustice 2.
Let's do this, Calones. Let's go one by one from 1 to 10. Okay, let's do that. So go number 1.
So for number 1 is, you know, to no one's surprise. Well, I guess here in the U.S.
I'm
because
surprised. Tekken 7, number 1. I mean, I thought Tekken was dead, honestly.
Well, it sold poorly in Japan. It did really good in the U.S.
Surprised. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tekken is more of a Japanese fighting. That just tells you how the Japanese market is not into fighting games anymore, I guess. You know.
Well, or it kind of explains some of the reasons why Sony is, you know, leaving Japan and concentrating more on the Western countries. But yeah, we have number 1, Tekken 7. Then Injustice 2.
Another fighting game, yep.
And third, one of the reasons why I say, like, I mean, the game just won't die.
Never.
Is Grand Theft Auto 5. It seems like for every new system that sells, they have to have the game. And I keep saying, bring it to the Switch, and it will sell. Number 4, and it's making a comeback, is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which
Yes.
it
Yes.
actually did a lot better than I expected. It
No, no,
would.
no, no. Wait, Calones, I have to put a caveat there. That
Uh,
game came in number 4. That's why I'm proud of it. I'm like, remember I played the old Crash games on the PlayStation 1. Uh, uh, it came just the last day of the month, and it became number 4 on the MPD list, just with
well,
one day on the
well, I think
month
it
on the
was.
market.
I believe it was 2 days, not one. So I believe
Okay,
it was
2.
it was 2 days. But yeah, but
Woo!
yes. So the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe effect coming in at the end and winning the month. So it did great. Arms number 5. It sold
Pretty good.
256,000
Pretty good.
physical and digital. It did for me. It did great as a new IP and one that people don't really expect. It sold great. Also, they promise updates for the entire year, so it should, arms should have legs. Um, then,
I see what you did there. Hey, go
so
ahead.
yep. Number 6, we have Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild with 145,000 physical copies and digital
That's my
together.
game of the year right there, boy.
Number 7, Mario Kart 8 with 180,000 physical plus,
Good game.
which,
Good game.
but I know that people see Mario Kart 8 having 180,000 in number 7 and Legend of Zelda having 145,000 at number 6. But also you have to take into account that they released the expansion, and the NPD is about total sales, not about how many copies. So total sales, and they amass that money. Number 8, it's Overwatch. Number 9, still NBA
Game
2K17.
sells. That game it's like Grand
And
Theft Auto 5.
yep.
It keeps
and
selling.
and 2K18 is just around the corner. I'm not sure what they're going to do because Kyrie Irving is on the cover, and he requested a trade from the Cavaliers. So I mean, is by the time he releases it, if he's on another team, is he going to have a different jersey, or are they going to keep the same one? I don't know what's going to happen. But and number 10,
Another
and
game. Great. Another great game.
another great game, and it still hasn't received the DLC update. So by the time you receive the DLC, it should go up even more. But Horizon Zero Dawn comes in at number 10. So
So,
what do you think? Yeah, tell me
no,
about the top 10 list. What do you think?
here's my takeaways, right? Like you said, fighting games, strong month for fighting games. Tekken 7 and Justice 2.
Yes.
I'm surprised about Tekken 7. Crash, I'm really happy about Crash. Arms, for new IP, it came off strong. That's pretty good place. Legend of Zelda and Mario Kart still selling. And then, of course, Horizon, who also came out in February of this year, is still selling. So what I take this is that maybe Microsoft should look more of the exclusive strategy, because Sony has 2 exclusives there, and Nintendo has 3 exclusives there. And also, the other takeaway I can take away from this is the Switch is popular. It shows you that the Switch is popular because you have three Nintendo games on the top 10 NPDs. I don't remember the last time that NPD had like 3 Nintendo games on the top 10. So that just shows you how popular the Switch is. They're hitting. And I wanted to bring something else. It's kind of like a side news story, Calones. On the consoles that were sold for the month, PlayStation came number 1, Switch came number 2, and Xbox came number 3, right? And I took them from Gaff, the numbers, so I don't know where, if take them with a grain of salt. I don't know if they're real or not, but PS4 sold supposedly 382,000 units, Switch 220K, and the Xbox 153K. Now, admittedly, PlayStation 4 saw the best month in a long time because they brought the gold PS4 and they had a small price drop for 250, so that boosted sales. And then the Switch, it's hard to find the motherfucker. So like the other day, I heard that on Best Buy they came out, boom, they were gone. So like it was sold out in hours. So like the Switch is selling. So I guess to bring a side conversation here, Calones, do you think if the Switch was available for the people, if it wasn't hard to find, do you feel that it would be number 1 this month in NPD?
Well, yeah. I mean, easily it would have been number 1. Not necessarily by a large amount of sales. I mean, of systems sold, but it at least for this month and for the last couple of weeks, I don't really feel that Nintendo released the amount of systems that they did have available. I feel like they want to make sure that they have enough for the release of Splatoon, which was this past Friday. So they were probably holding on to the stock So that way, whenever people went over to the stores and to get Splatoon, the season will be available as well. That's what I feel like. We're in July. We're really gonna see we should see a bigger jump because of Splatoon 2. But I feel like yes, it would have beaten the PS4. It wasn't that big of a difference. I mean, difference in sales. And
on this month it was though. On this month, the
Well-
PS4 sold more than the Xbox and Switch combined, right? So
Yes.
it was a good month. But admittedly, let me be
Yeah.
unbiased here. The PlayStation had a good offer. They brought up the gold PS4. I don't know why people like shit on gold. I don't know. And they had a 250 price mark for the PlayStation 4. So this was like an outlier a little bit for Sony because including Sony has been in the market like for 4 years now, and this was their best June in the 4 years that they've been on the market, right? So I'm just saying it out there that to your point, I still think the PlayStation would have still won even if the Switch would have been available because of the 250 price and the gold PS4, right? But next month, then yes, I'm with you. Maybe next month, again, if the Switch was available, then yes, with Splatoon 2 coming out, and it would have maybe sold, the Switch would have sold more, and maybe it can still sell more if your theory of they're holding stock back to supply for the Splatoon 2 release occurs, right? So I guess put your Cleo, Miss Cleo hat, Calones.
Well, it's
Do you
still
think
gonna
that
be.
they're gonna win next month?
Well, it's still going to be interesting because okay, so I mean, looking at the top 10 games sold, Tekken 7, I can assume that it sold more copies on the PS4 than it did on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Injustice 2, more than likely the same thing. Same with Grand Theft Auto 5, and of course Crash Bandicoot, which is a timed exclusive, as far as I know, for the Sony. So
Bring it to the Switch, baby. Bring it to the Switch. That's the right place to be at.
So you already have the top 4 games, which they more than likely sold more on the PS4 than on the Xbox One, and I mean it was a good release month for Sony and for Xbox One as well. But next month is when we have or this month that is going to be tracked. So once it gets tracked, I don't really see a bigger release than Splatoon 2. I expect it to sell probably upwards of like 250,000 copies in Japan. In the U.S., it could be more than likely something similar as well. And within the first month or so, it should already get to 1 million copies sold. So July, Splatoon. Then next month you have Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, as well as other games. So, but hey, but you can't really. You forgot to say about something. What about those 3DS sales?
I don't have those numbers. I apologize. I only took the main 3 console markets. On how much did the 3DS sold this month or last year?
Well, I mean, because as far as the 3DS went, the sales did increase on it. Ever Oasis didn't do as good as people hoped it would, but Hey Pikmin sold really good on this system. So
maybe those will track better this month, right? Because Hey Pikmin's just released this month. So next month, what we'll do for sure when MPD comes out, we'll try to find them on GAF, give full numbers next time. I do want to bring one more piece of news that I think you're gonna like too, Calones, which is sales up to date of the 3 consoles for the 6 months in the US, right? PlayStation 4 has sold 1.78 million units, right? Xbox has sold 989,000 units. And the Switch has sold 1.57 million units. So the big takeaway for that is the Switch has only come out in March, right? The Switch it's hard to find. You have to give it credit where credit is due. And it's only behind by 210,000 units sold, right? So that is a great fucking number. Now, and more in the USA, where the Wii U did struggle as hell in the USA, to clarify. Now the Xbox, and I'm enjoying this because you know how much I love the Xbox. It hasn't even cracked the million yet. So I guess my question to you, Calones, I know this is a Nintendo podcast, but it's good to discuss all 3 consoles, right? Do you think people are waiting for the Xbox X? That's why the sales are hurting on the Xbox. And same question, I guess. You feel good about those numbers in the U.S. for the Switch, even though the Switch only came out in March of this year, where Sony had the full 6 months of sale.
Well, about the Switch numbers, I feel good and bad because one of the reasons that they're having issues, producing the system is because of Apple, and they have
That's a
certain
rumor.
components.
Yep.
Yeah, so they have certain components that they both of them use, and I mean I just hope that that portion of it is resolved so they can go ahead and make as many consoles as they can. But as far as the numbers, it's still really good. They sold. They've exceeded everybody's expectations, yeah, including Nintendo themselves. So that's why you're probably still seeing 3DS games coming out because they probably did not expect the Switch to sell as well. But coming next year or starting next year, once you see a transition and once they are able to give, they have the stock available, it's gonna surpass even this year. So I believe next year will be even better. Yeah.
We'll see on that one. On that one, I will say Nintendo is really dropping big hitters this year. Let's see if they can keep the momentum next year. That's my opinion. See if they can keep the same momentum that they've sold this year. But okay, we're gonna talk about the Xbox. Sorry.
Yeah. As far as the Xbox, I'm okay. I'm not really gonna talk bad about it because, as you see, I got a new 4K 3D TV on the back, and if I had the PlayStation 4, I wouldn't be able to fully enjoy great quality on the movies because it doesn't really support the Ultra HD. The Xbox One S does, and so I'm gonna be easy on it, for now because it's allowing me to enjoy those type of movies more than a PlayStation would.
But I guess my question wasn't to throw shades at them, even though I like to do that sometimes. But it was more, do you feel that the Xbox is selling, it's on third place, basically, the first 6 months of the year because people are waiting for the X?
No, because look at the the PS4 and the PS4 Slim, PS4 Pro. If you look at those numbers, the PS4 Pro is probably not selling as much as the Slim. The Slim is the one that's carrying Sony right now. And you would think that basically the reason is because the system is cheaper, and people are buying it because they want the games. So they want access to those games. They want to play those games. So they don't really care if they're playing it at in the having a boost on the PS4 Pro, or if they're just playing it at low resolution or graphic fidelity or whatever on the Slim. So they're buying it because of the games. If the Xbox One had better games, people wouldn't really be waiting for the Xbox One X to get the system and play those games. They will be getting it right now. So it is just a matter of, like you said earlier, they need to invest more on first-party games, exclusives, and those, because the reason why it's not selling is not because people are waiting for the Xbox One S, it's because they don't really have games that interest people and can convince them to get the system.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to hear. I agree with your assessment there. I don't think a $500 console will help them that much, in my opinion. And you're right. The reason Sony is still number one right now is because the Slim is cheaper, and Sony has a great catalog of games. So people want to have a easier way of access. No one gives a shit about 4K. I honestly don't think 4K is as a huge deal like 1080p was, right? So I have a 4K TV too, and I enjoy watching 4K movies. Again, I have an S because of the 4K capabilities that system has, and I like it, but I am not wow like 1080p. Like when I bought my PlayStation 3 the first time and watched a 1080p movie, I was like, holy shit. 4K to me is like, okay, looks better. So anyway, that was a long discussion on that news. Let's go to the next one, Calones.
Okay, next one is Fire Emblem made Nintendo so far since release $114.9 million. So
make it rain, bitch! Make it rain!
So I know, like, I'm surprised because at first I was thinking, okay, so Nintendo, they have Pokemon Go, and boom, 30% of it or whatever it is. But Pokemon Go was a success, a big success. So an understatement. But then you had Super Mario Run coming out, and you felt like Super Mario Run, Mario is gonna sell great. Everybody's gonna get it because it's Nintendo's mascot. But for some reason, it underperformed. Not because of the app itself, but because of how dumb people are that they feel like buying it for $9.99 and not having to pay anything ever again is actually worse than getting something free and then spending hundreds of dollars little by little. So that's where Fire Emblem comes in, and I felt like Fire Emblem was somewhat of a niche franchise, a niche IP. I didn't really feel that it was going to do that great, but 114 million, dollar, 115 million, basically since launch, is pretty impressive.
So, first, Calones, I want to give you a golf clap for the first statement that you say that people are dumb, that they prefer downloading a free-to-play game than buying the game just once and you're done with it. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I thought Mario Run was going to change people's minds in the mobile market. Mario is the biggest video game character of all time. So I thought Nintendo did the right thing. Here's $10. You play Mario game. You're done with it. You don't have to do shit. Now, I know a lot of people complain, oh, there wasn't enough levels or there were some features missing. Okay, I understand. But still, you pay for it once and you're done with it, people. But then here comes Fire Emblem, right? A free-to-play game. And again, I think it's just how the mobile market is. People prefer playing a free-to-play game, and the game gets you hooked, right? It just gets it's like playing like in the casino, right? When you're playing the slots, right? You're hitting that, and you're trying to hit whatever sevens that you have to hit to get the big money, right? I think people just get hooked like that. It's free. Oh my God, it's free. It's really not free. They're enticing you to keep buying shit, enticing you to keep getting the power-ups, enticing you to level up so you can keep spending money. It just blows Clash of Clans and all that piece of crap that is on the mobile market. It just pisses me off because it makes millions and millions of dollars in the thought that people think, oh, it's a free game. It is not. They're making the game harder so you can spend the money. God, so I'm sorry about that. I'm a little bit passionate because I wish the mobile market was better in video games. I think the mobile market sometimes hurts the video game market. So.
Yeah, but I've been tempted a couple of times. I mean, sometimes one of the biggest things about me on the game is being able to collect 20 orbs and being able to go to the characters and get the full like 5 characters that you can get. Of course, I would like to hit 5 stars on each one every time, but you get the 3-star characters, you get the 4 stars. Then you gotta invest time on collecting more feathers or things like that and try to level up. So I've been tempted a couple of times on spending money on buying orbs just so I can hurry up and get more characters and try to get those 5 stars ones. But yes, people, if somebody tells you this is all you gotta pay for the game and you don't have to do anything ever again for it, no spending, nothing, that's actually a good thing. It is a good thing for you. It actually keeps you in check, keeps your money in your wallet. But on the other side, I'm happy that Nintendo's making money off of it. And this relationship with DNA seems to be a real success. So hopefully they're going to continue forward with it. Animal Crossing still hasn't been officially announced, but it's they said it was coming out. So, but they haven't shown anything from the game. But once they do, I feel like Animal Crossing is going to be another one of those games where it's going to be empty in people's pockets, and even more so than Fire Emblem is.
So, and to clarify, I don't blame Nintendo. You have to make that money. If people are dumb and they spend the money, you have to make that money, right? It's just Nintendo did give you a choice. They said, "Here's Mario Run. Pay me $10 and you're done." People talk. People talk with their wallets, pure and simple. So they're gonna say, "Fuck Mario Run. We're not doing Mario Run ever again. We're just gonna do I don't know, Animal Crossing, and again a free-to-play game, and just make people spend money, right?" So
yeah, or how Gav calls them. They calls them gacha games, our gacha wallet, and I'm never letting go.
Yep, agree.
So
let's go to the next one, Calones.
Well, moving on to the next one. One Piece Unlimited Red Deluxe Edition will be releasing on September 29 for the Nintendo Switch. The game will support full HD 60 frames per second and will have more than 40 downloadable items. So I'm One Piece for me, as a artist, as a comic book artist, and those I've always enjoyed the One Piece and the Naruto's, the Bleach, those types. And I'm glad that it's making over the way over to the Switch. Whenever I can, it's not on my upper list of priority games for me to get, but I will eventually be getting it just because I want to have it in a portable format. But CyberConnect and everybody else, please bring your games as well. I want to have the Naruto games on it. Dragon Ball Z, Xenoverse 2 is coming out later this year as well, so that's another one that I'm glad is going to be here. But I want my Naruto fix, so that's my number one. Just bring it over here.
Not have much to say. I'm not an anime fan, so I'm not gonna get this game. But hey, more games. Again, more games. Keep feeding that beast. So I'm happy to see more games on the Switch.
Okay, and with the other one, which I suspect that you're going to have a lot to talk about, is Nintendo trademarks the Nintendo 64 controller in Europe. Your thoughts?
I smell a N64 Mini somewhere coming around soon. Well, not soon. I'm guessing they have to drop the Super NES Mini first, get some money out of that, and then they'll get the N64 Mini out. Hey, another scalper's dream right there. They're living the dream right now. They're wetting on their pants right now. They're like so wet, moist. Oh my God, yes. Nintendo, keep making me money. Thank you for not giving me enough consoles.
My question actually is, okay, so with the NES, they had 30 games. With the Super NES Mini, they had 21 games.
Yeah.
Are we really going to expect less with the N64? So how many do you think they're going to have?
15.
15?
15, yes.
I think it's going to be more, like closer to 15, like maybe like 16 games. I think 16 is going to be, but those 16 games are going to be, I'll say, better than what the Super NES and the NES Mini has. It's going to be classic games, and people that may not have embraced the NES Mini or Super NES Mini, they will be flocking to get the N64.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just wish Nintendo just made more consoles. They have the NES Mini. They had a hot item. They should be selling that shit up the ass. And then the Super NES Mini is gonna be a hot item too. And then 64, they didn't have a lot of games. You have to admit it. It was a great console, but they did not have a lot of games. So I think you can easily pick 15, and maybe we should do a video of the 15 games that we want to see on the N64 Mini. And I know we recorded a video of the 30 games that we wanted to see on the Super NES Mini before the Super NES Mini got announced. We haven't uploaded. I'm hoping Calones finish the editing someday, so we can download that video and at least give you our thoughts on what games we would like to see on the Super NES Mini. So yeah, let's do that. We'll do the N64 Mini at some point.
But I'm gonna say this right now: Nintendo, Microsoft, and who is it? Activision or whoever it is, get it together, because I want to have GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64 Mini. It has to be there. You cannot have a Mini without a GoldenEye. But we'll talk about it on the next one. So.
Yeah. I agree with you. It needs to be there. It is one of those groundbreaking games, but I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll talk about it next time. Go ahead to the next one, Calones.
Well, the Nintendo Switch has been hacked. ROMs are beginning to appear online. It's happening faster than I anticipated, but they're not currently playable. It's not like you can play those games.
There's no emulator yet. No, that you need. Yeah. You have to remember, guys. When you emulate games, you need the emulator and the ROM, right? So the ROMs are available online. That's just basically people not opening, but downloading the game to the server or whatever. But there's no emulator yet. But that's just the first step. So I could foresee, again, because I could foresee kind of like the Dolphin. The Dolphin can do GameCube and Wii games together. I could foresee the Wii emulator doing the same, because Wii U and the Switch is kind of similar in power, in a sense of graphical power, right? So I could foresee that. So I think it's not going to be anytime soon yet. It's gonna be a little bit while before you see an
Well,
emulator coming out. So
I just hope that they stop doing this because if they keep doing the hacking and all of that, Nintendo's not gonna give us the browser. I'm waiting for the web browser so we can use it. But it seems like web browser is gonna be it's one of the exploits that they're using to try to get the ROMs. Web browser is not something that you can really select right now, but it does open up for certain things, either for news or connected to the Wi-Fi or things like that. So it is there. They just haven't made it available, but I expect there's going to be some sort of update pretty soon, not necessarily to to increase stability on the system, but more than likely to eliminate those hacks.
I will say this though, like I have nothing against ROMs. Let me explain. So, or emulation, if it's done the right way. And my what I explain is if you have the game right, and you want to have the ROM, like Zelda Breath of the Wild is already running in 4K on the Wii U emulator. If you have Zelda Breath of the Wild and you want to play it in 4K on your PC, go ahead. Own the game though. Like I love to play Xenoblade Chronicles on the Dolphin, and I have the game. Calones know I have the game. I can show it if people don't believe me. I've shown it 20 million times.
You already did on the previous podcast.
But what my point to that is that I love playing that game in 1080p on the Dolphin. It still looks beautiful, right? So and that's where I'm okay with emulation, right? The Retron kind of has some emulation. You still need the physical game, but they basically download the ROM into the Retron, and then they can, you can then switch games to 1080p. And there's other emulators like PS1 emulators, PS2 emulators, where you can play all games in 1080p, right? That's the biggest thing. I myself, and I'm telling you right now, and I'm an old school gamer. I've been gaming since the Atari 2600. I cannot go back to 480p. I cannot. If there's one thing that I know I'm saying, frames is more critical to resolution. Yeah, up to 720, I'm okay. As long as it's HD, I'm okay. But I cannot go back to 480p. I need to play games in high definition. So anyway, just wanted to bring that up.
Well, another thing about the ROMs is that it actually conserves the game. So it's like a really good way of making sure that the game doesn't cease to exist. I mean, if you go back to Atari games or others, some of the code for those games were lost because people didn't have access to the ROMs. So ROMs are a good way to conserve the code and conserve those games and make sure that they keep existing. So
Okay.
But moving on, we have the 90s arcade racer, which was a racing game that was going to be releasing on the Wii U, has been canceled, but is going to be coming out now on the Nintendo Switch as the 90s Super GP. The game itself, it has bright colors, wacky tracks, and it looks like kind of like an arcade racer, similar to
Rich Racer.
Rich Racer. I was gonna say not as far as like Cruising USA or things like that, but Rich Racer would be a pretty good comparison to the game. Game looks fun, and it's I'll say it's cartoony-ish enough for the graphics to actually have a pretty good look. So it might on the resolution on the Switch, it might be a good looking game as well. But so it's still coming. It hasn't been canceled. But now there's going to be another one, a pretty big one, and it's Famitsu's held a voting about the best RPGs of all time.
Let's do this, Calones. We'll go.
I'll let you go ahead and own this one. So go ahead.
No. We'll do a separate video on this one. I feel now thinking about it. There's a lot of good discussion could be have. We're both RPG fans. I think they could have a good discussion. What we can say is that Famitsu readers named Persona 5 #1 RPG game of all time. I feel that was more because it's the latest game, it's the hottest game, the hottest RPG on the market. But there's really good games on that list. Dragon Quest 3 is there, Chrono Trigger is there, Final Fantasy 7 is there, Xenoblade Chronicles is there, and Xenogears is there. I'm fucking... Hey, Famitsu readers, you motherfuckers do a way better job than fucking Game Informer. That shitty-ass list that Game Informer gave for the all-time best RPG games of all time, that was a piece of shit, just to clarify. Anyway, So we'll do a separate video for that one. But I just wanted to give you a highlights of some of the good games. Final Fantasy VI is there. Persona 4 Golden is there. Again, fucking Famitsu readers. I love you guys. Anyway.
Well, yeah, Xenoblade is among the top 20. Woof, what a surprise.
Okay, yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, son. Represent. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
Well, and we're gonna go over to our last piece, which actually does tie in with our first segment, which is gonna be the Nintendo Online app. The Nintendo Switch Online app released alongside the Splatoon game. It was available before for download, but it didn't become active until yesterday. But with the app came a lot of controversy and a lot of back and forth about what Nintendo should have done, could have done, and could be changing going forward. So
let's hold that one. We're gonna hold it. We're gonna have a Numa's Nintendo discussion, a big one over this one, right? So we'll hold it. We're just gonna say for the news that the app came out and you can use it for Splatoon 2 right now. We go into more details pretty soon, Calones, pretty soon. Anyway. Damn, Calones, that was a lot of news, my friend. That was a lot of fucking news. I feel beat, but that was good discussion. We had a little bit of fun there talking about the news. But now let's talk about what games just came out from our favorite store, which is Shigeru's Mini Market.
Well, with Shigeru's Mini Market, which, like I always say, is going to be supermarket pretty soon, but we had 3 games releasing this week. We had Boost Beast, $9.99, releasing on the 20th. We had Neo Geo the Samurai Showdown, and the big one, which everybody was expecting, and we already talked about at the beginning of this podcast, Splatoon 2. So, of course,
Splatoon 2. I said Arms 2. Fuck, Arms 2 hasn't come out yet. Splatoon 2, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a virtual slap for that one, but yes, Splatoon 2. Easily the game of the month. So far, it's been getting really good reviews. I know people are complaining about the voice chat, which we already knew from the very beginning when the system was announced that people are going to be complaining about it. But game is a must buy. It's a must own on the system, and it's one of the reasons why your son is going to be connected and playing it live. So.
I did admit I did buy Splatoon 2. Actually, it hasn't arrived because I bought it online. It should come Monday, but which is fine. It's fine. My son will start playing X, Y, and Z. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. My son loved the first one. I know your daughter loves the first one too, and is playing the second one right now. It's just not for me. But admittedly, it's not. I'm not one of those people. Oh, it looks kitty, or oh, I'm just shooting paintballs. Calones know me as a gamer. I just don't like shooting games. Right? It's not my thing. It's not my. You have to have a special touch in the shooting game. Like The Last of Us multiplayer, I loved it, right? Because it was more a strategic game on how you play instead of just shooting your way out. And the same with Ghostbusters, who I loved the online. It was a kind of a shooting game, but there was a purpose. It was a team-based online game, trying to catch all the ghosts. So it has to have a special something for me to dive into a shooting game. And it's just Splatoon 2 doesn't tickle my fancy. That's the truth, right? I got nothing against it.
Yeah,
you guys know, even though I'm a Sony fanboy, I play my Nintendo games. So I'm just saying that Splatoon 2 is not for me. But people who like it and enjoy it, it has to be our pick of the week. There's no way around it. This is the big Nintendo release. Nintendo will keep dropping those bombs coming in the following months. We got Rabbids coming up, and then of course the big one, Mario Odyssey, baby. I'm doing a media blackout on that motherfucker. And then of course the one that I'm really, really excited about, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, if it comes out. I'm still skeptical that that's coming out this year, but good year for Nintendo. Splatoon 2, it's 84, 83 something Metacritic. Correct me if I'm wrong, Calones. But I think that's pretty good.
It's been close to that in between Metacritic and OpenCritic, so it's been hovering about 83 and 84.
Yeah, so not bad. Good game. I'm happy that people are enjoying it. I'm happy that my boy Calones has a good time with it, buying all his Splatoonies and Gonies and amiibos and all that shit. But what matters is that and he's a squid that he squishes his and sleeps with it at night. Hopefully his wife won't get jealous. Anyway, but again, it's still good. That if it helps people like Calones who are, great parents already and can have spend time with his kids, hey, more power to them. So, okay, Calones, that was a good release this month for Nintendo, or this week, I guess. It was Splatoon 2. But let's move to our favorite segment, right? Because this is the time where we put a subject in the ring, in the middle of the ring, and the Calones and I go one-on-one. And I know on this one we may be a little bit different of opinion, so it'll be an interesting one. Basically, we want to talk about the online app for the Nintendo Switch right here at Onumas, Nintendo's discussion. And basically, let's just run down some of the issues of the online app, Calones, and we'll go. Basically, voice chat cannot run in the background while using your phone for other purposes such as text, social media, etc. What's more, early testing confirmed that the app won't work if your phone goes into power sleeping or power saving mode. And the other one is if you use other apps, like everything for Skype and Discord, to the built-in phone app on your smartphone lets you continue talking to others while doing other things on the phone, but this app from Nintendo does not, which is kind of what's weird. It almost feels like people are just going to keep using Skype and Discord. Why would you change when you can do other stuff on your phone and keep talking to people than use the Nintendo app? So there's been a lot. I haven't used it, so I don't know how to review, but I've been reading a lot of people complaints. I've also been watching YouTube videos of famous Nintendo YouTubers and what they feel about the app, and it seems like unanimous. I've only watched one YouTuber that defended the app, but everybody else is kind of shitting on the app right now, based on the reviews. So I'll let Calones give his stuff first, and then with my turn. So go ahead, Calones.
Okay. Well, so if you were to download the app right now, how much would you pay for it?
Based on all the complaints, that'll be $0.
So no, I'm saying like how much would you have to pay right now to be able to download it? How much money do you have to go to the store and spend?
It's free.
It's free.
Yep.
Okay. So Nintendo said that they're not going to charge online until next year, correct?
Yep.
And I know people keep saying about the Switch launch that it's kind of like it feels like an early access type of launch where there's a lot of applications and things that are currently missing. So the way that I feel about this app is this is not the complete form of the app. This is just the initial form where people they can start connected to the system, testing it, and see how it works. As far as the app goes, I know there's certain shortcomings, and I mean I'm not going to defend the phone going into power mode and the app closing. I'm not gonna or stopping. I'm not gonna defend where you open up another application and it stops working. I don't know why it has to be. It has to be there being used for it to work, and you cannot use it while on the background. So I can't explain those. I can't really defend those. But as far as how you use the app, how you connect with other players, and those, it is a work in progress. It is something that Nintendo is still trying to iron out. And you know from experience when it comes to other phones or game systems or whatever, if whenever you have an early release of something, it could have issues. Yeah, potentially could have issues. You have the ring rig of that, or you have the PS4 controller battery sucking really bad. But
it still sucks though. But go ahead.
But yeah, and they can do an update eliminating the LED and give it a larger battery. But I feel like Nintendo is testing the water. They're testing this thing. They still are working on the online infrastructure where, I mean, if once they start charging, they're gonna have to justify why it is that they're charging that amount. So I feel like this is not the end form of the app. It's still gonna change. It's still gonna be updated, and it eventually will become what everybody wants it to become. What I do not like, or well, actually, I can before I move over to another one, I'll let you talk, and so we can continue doing the back and forth. So go ahead.
Let me see. Where do I start? So, I guess I understand your point, but I don't agree with you at all, Calones. We've been agreeing today really well, but that one, I think we're not in agreement at all. So here's why. Fucking voice chat has been integrated since the Dreamcast. So, are you telling me that Nintendo cannot do this shit right? How many console generations? How many times is Nintendo fucking up the online infrastructure? It's not that hard. And I'm not saying I'm not a developer. I'm not an expert. But if other companies have doing since the fucking Dreamcast, the fucking DS had voice chat. The fucking DS, Calones, had voice chat in the system. That's my problem with the app. It does not make sense. Why do you need another advice? Why do you need a phone to do fucking voice chat? Why do you need it at all? That app should be on the Switch. Fucking Vita, the Vita has voice chat and all these social integrations on it, and the Switch could be way, and it is already way better than the Vita because it has AAA games and has all the indies, right? So that's where I'm against it. I understand your point that it still takes time to iron the bugs out. I understand that it's still under development. I understand that Nintendo is still not gonna charge for the online. They shouldn't charge the way it is right now at all. Not anytime soon. But my point to that is that they have a blueprint. I know Nintendo is always the quirky. We want to do it our way. But it feels like half-ass. It feels like Nintendo's like, yeah, gamers use online. Fuck it, just put a fucking app and let's not worry about it. Use Microsoft blueprint. Hell, Nintendo, you can use fucking Sony's blueprint already. You know, there's a lot of companies out there that are doing it already the right way. I don't know why it's so hard. That's where I stand with that. The app is not needed. Not needed at all. It should be on the Switch. Anyway, go ahead, Calones.
Okay. Well, I mean, for example, you have different apps. HBO application on the PlayStation. I had Comcast, and it would just not work. That was something that they released. They could have a big disclaimer. Nothing there said, hey, if you own Comcast, you're not going to be able to use it. So there was nothing on there that would tell you that, hey, you're going to have issues with this. But with Nintendo, I know we have to think of them as in a different way. Like Nintendo doesn't have the capabilities or the money or anything like Microsoft or Sony does.
Broke, dude. Sony's fucking broke, so don't give me that shit. So.
But they're a lot bigger than Nintendo is. They have a bunch of different divisions. It's
that's numbers I saw. Nintendo's is cranking way more money than Sony. But anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm saying like company-wise, they're a lot bigger. So if they were managed by somebody that actually, has a brain, they would be doing better. But as far as that's how I can't really criticize the application as it is. I know that it has its shortcomings. It does have it does have an option on there for you to let Nintendo know about your experiences with the app. So people, that's what I suggest. Just go back to Nintendo, express your concerns. Don't try not to hate, but
hate.
Just
let the hate flow on you. Let it.
But just express what you feel about the app. There's going to be additional ways that you can go around it. I was personally I was thinking about investing on one of the headsets. There's one of the Turtle Beach headsets where you have an adapter that connects over to the phone jack, and then something that I haven't tested though is connecting a Bluetooth headset to the phone and having the Bluetooth audio alongside with the audio from the TV, so you can hear both of them. But as far as the app goes, like you said, if you really want to talk to your teammates, if you really want to have a conversation with them while you have the game on the TV, then you might as well just use Discord or something else. But as far as the phone, with the Nintendo app, you can just put it in next to you, just throw the headset and just be happy for now while they continue working and fixing those things because you're not paying a penny for it. It's free.
No, that's not defendable, Calones. What you're saying that is free, that it's okay. No, that my point is not the app that is still under development. My point is that it shouldn't be that way. It should be in the console, like every freaking system has done it since the Dreamcast. Why Sega, who sucks, fucking figure it out on the Dreamcast, and Nintendo hasn't figured it out now? Why do I need to use a phone, waste my battery on the phone to be talking with people online when I should be doing it on the Switch? That's my point. This is not defendable. This Nintendo's decision, Reggie saying, oh, it's an elegant way to do it. Yeah, the elegant way is to fucking put the app on the Switch. Simple as that. It's not that hard. If you want to have a companion app, like you brought HBO Go. If you want to have a companion app like HBO Go or whatever, that you want to see your stats, and even if you want to just do this way. Even if you want to add friends to your account through the app, that's all fine and dandy. I got no issue with a companion app. But why in the hell voice chat has to be through the phone? I just don't. It just blows my mind that, again, the Vita, the DS, Calones. How can you defend it? The DS had voice chat on the fucking DS. Why can't Nintendo do it that way? It's just what I'm criticizing. To clarify, that's why I joke. Let the hate flow. What you guys need to write on the app, on the feedback. Why isn't this app on the Switch? That is what you need to write. It's not what it needs to be better. It's why in the hell I need to use my phone? Why in the hell can I, with the PlayStation or the Xbox, just put a set of headsets through my controller, set up a lobby, and I can have all the discussions that I want with my friends and whatever? I don't get it, this decision with Nintendo, and I'm criticizing. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. And to clarify, this does not affect me. I could give a flying fuck about the app or not, because I don't play online games. You know it, Calones. I'm a single player game. When I get home, I just want to relax. I just want to run wild, no pun intended, in Breath of the Wild, and just have my time. So this does not affect me at all. I could give a flying fuck about it, right? I'm talking about, but you have to think about it, not what my needs are. You have to think about it, what everybody's needs are. And the reason a lot of people are complaining, the main complaint is, why in the hell am I using this app? A lot of people, to your point, you said from the start, a lot of people did not like this app, right? Because it didn't make sense. Why would I have to do it with it? And now the app came, and it just confirmed their fears, right? They confirms their fears because it's saying, oh fuck, now I have to keep the phone, and maybe they'll fix it, and maybe that you can use other texts, and you can put your phone in sleep mode so you can talk. Yeah, they'll probably fix all that. Still, why am I using my phone to talk and do voice chat? It doesn't make sense.
I'll give you I mean, it's of course I'm not an engineer. I didn't work on the Switch and put it together or any of that, but I suspect that well, one of the reasons is you can connect up to, I believe it's like 8 different devices via Bluetooth to the Switch. So by allowing you to, for example, connect that Bluetooth headset to the Nintendo Switch would be eliminating one of those 8 devices. So that's one of the things that they're probably not doing it. Another one is,
you got 8 devices, Calones. That's enough. But keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, but another one is probably because they're still working on the OS. They still want to make sure that the operating system runs as fast as it is. That it's not going to become bogged down and become slower because they continue adding other applications and things like that, which is one of the reasons why they are probably keeping that away from the Switch at this moment. That's why I say that it is still a work in progress. It is something that eventually is going to get updated. Personally, yes, I would love for me to be able to just connect a Bluetooth headset to the Switch. That eliminates any wires or anything. If you have it on the go, if you have it on the dock, so that's going to eliminate it. But I believe it boils down to Nintendo making sure that those 8 channels for Bluetooth are available, and making sure that the operating system runs as fast as it can without being bogged down, because adding applications and things like that would make it a little bit slower. So that's why they're probably keeping it away from it, and eventually we're going to see something once they are able to figure it out. I just hope so. Hopefully they're going to figure it out sooner rather than later, so people are not going to have these kind of complaints or anything.
So this is the love-hate relationship that I have Nintendo. Fuck, they make great games, right? They fucking make great games. Their hardware sometimes just sucks. That's the truth. Like, not only this, where the hell is cloud saves? I'm still concerned that my 300-hour save file for Zelda Breath of the Wild just fucks up if I drop the Switch or whatever, right? Where's that? Where's shit that is being normal in all the consoles for years? That's my problem. I don't get it. Maybe to your point, it's a resource issue. I still don't want to give them a pass. You can't give companies a pass. You have to, you have to say what you feel like so they can be better. They need to be better. Nintendo has a winner here. I'm criticizing them to do better because I want them to still be winners with this Switch. The Switch could be great, and it's not great yet. It is not great as a system itself. It is not. There's missing a lot of features that it should have been already there. That's what tells you is that Nintendo did a little bit of an Xbox and rushed the console in the market. They rushed it. It was not ready. It was not ready to release. They rushed it, but I understand that they rushed it because they needed to make money. The Wii U bombed, so they needed to make money. I understand, but some features should have been open by now. Where's the virtual console? Where's the fucking virtual console? Again, and Nintendo's console's lifespan is like 5 years, maybe tops, 5 to 6,
yeah.
Right?
I mean, I can tell you where the virtual console is. It's on the NES Mini, Super NES Mini, and the hypothetical N64 Mini. So that's where the virtual console is.
Come on, Calones, you want it portable. You're gonna put your Mini on your car? Are you gonna turn it on through the power supply? I mean, come on, man, really? So you know what I mean. There's a lot of features still missing on this console. Want Nintendo to get their act together. Again, they're delivering great games. Like I said, I don't care all the online app. I'm a single player game. I'm already enjoying it. Then in Switch with Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart. I know I play Mario Kart a little bit online, so it was fun to do a little bit. And with Mario coming in October, and of course the Chronicles in December. Hopefully, I'm set. I'm set for life. I guess you could put it that way. But still, I want the console to be better in case I, go into an online game and then it's easy. Because this app came out, but in Mario Kart, there's still no voice chat in a sense, right? Not through the Switch. You can still use your phone again with Skype or Discord or whatever. It's just normal features. Like it should be ARMS. The same with ARMS, right? Should be normal features already. Online gaming. You said gaming is competitive. You said it a couple of times here in the podcast. So where is the features? That's the only thing I'm saying. It may be sound that I'm being hard on Nintendo, Calones, but you know that I'm hard on everyone because I want them. We are the consumer. They are giving us a product. We don't need. This is not a basketball team that I'm Team Nintendo or X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? It's all about getting the best product available in the market. So that's where I stand.
So, well, I don't know. Like, it's going to be one of those where I know certain people are going to be on the fence about it. If you really want to get it out, or just think about in my case, I know my daughter, she doesn't really use Skype. She doesn't really use Discord. I kind of want them to be away from certain people because they're kids, and that's going to be a great way for me to monitor and know who it is that's playing with her, talking with her. But as far as the adults, which a lot of the people that bought the Nintendo Switch is the adult crowd. Yes, some of those things need to change, hopefully sooner. That way we can fully enjoy what the system is capable of. But as far as like I said, I'm even though it's something that I would use, I'm still patient with it because I still think of it as a process. It's still an app that's evolving. It's still getting better. Same with the system, it is evolving, getting better, and I feel that we could have waited until October, November, December to have the official release of the Nintendo Switch and being able to enjoy the games at that time. But just by having our, this quote unquote early access of the system, we're getting to enjoy games like, Breath of the Wild in March, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in April, and so on and so forth now, instead of having to wait until then. So our game experiences are not necessarily being tarnished, especially with, single player games or games that don't require the online. For the games that do require the online, there's other alternatives that you can use, so we can fully enjoy it. But I'm patient. I know, other people are not, and like you say, I wish Nintendo had everything figured out from the very beginning. But the system is only, it came out, back in March, so it's only a couple of months old, and it's still evolving, it's still getting better, and it will get there. How long it's gonna take? Hopefully not too long, but it's getting better.
Well, we shall see, Calones. So I'm hoping the same. Nintendo gets their shit together faster, because again, they have a winner on their hand, and I don't want to see them fail. I think marketplace without Nintendo is gonna suffer. So anyway, that was a good discussion. Anumas Nintendo discussion. Thank you, Calones, for joining me. Let's end this. I think it's a good time to end the show. I think it was a lot of news, a lot of discussions that we had. We had a lot of fun, like always. It's good to talk about Nintendo. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us at the Get In, Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 8, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember that this podcast will be uploaded to YouTube every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy motherfuckers happy. And also remember that you can get this podcast through SoundCloud and really soon iTunes. Everything will be on the description box, so you can go down there and check it out. And finally, and Dantes says finally, please go to chiguerosnews.com and give my boy Calones some love. With all that said, I want to thank everybody for joining us again. Long live Nintendo, motherfuckers. See you guys.
Have a great one, everyone.